Now I'd like to take a quick moment to just go through some of these device properties we could apply here. And we already talked about this multi-zone switcher classification we could provide, where we could say there's 2 outputs and 4 inputs. A voltage level, that's if you have a device that for some reason always needs a specific voltage, you could adjust that here. Now this is not actually available with the MC1000 or the HD Light Matrix, which is fixed to 5 volts for the IR. However, in future master controllers, control processors, there will be flexible voltage from 5 to 12 volts, and that was also available on the MC2500. Default repeat settings. This is quite useful. Well, this has rarely been useful, but if a device doesn't respond very quickly to multiple button presses, you might want, this default delay is a way that we always offer that little bit of a cushion between, a little bit of a delay between each command. Because in your programming, you may recall that we have the delay event in action, which is like a pause icon in your events and actions tab. But even if you don't use that, we actually, all of the commands are going to be separated in this device's case by 0.02 seconds. And we actually, this is our default setting for IR, RS, and IP. Then you have repeat and always repeat, repeat while holding. Now keep in mind, this would be, if you apply this here, every command you do would now be repeated. Every command for the device. Whereas if I instead went to and I said, oh, this is a device that needs the power on, or more specifically the power off, right? Power off, something like a projector might need a power off. You might need to press it twice. I can actually edit that and learn the code and then have a repeat here that says, oh, whenever we press power off, that's always going to happen twice. So this would be specific for the command itself. Again, the IP address of the master controller we're learning or testing with, the type of master controller, the IP port, the testing port, these are your multifunctions, and the learning port, where again, don't be tricked. Always make sure you're learning out of that sensor. 99.999% of the time, people are always learning through that sensor. And you saw I built output 1 before, but how about output 2? It's empty. You could actually clone output 1 because, of course, it has the same commands. However, we now have it say output 1, input 2. Or, excuse me, output 2, select input 1. So I would just go through here and edit this to get this, of course, correct, because we're now in output 2. And then, of course, this would need to be relearned, wouldn't it? Since it would be a different discrete IR command. So, save your work, and that is how you test IR commands, learn IR commands with the remote, and how you, and a tutorial of the device properties. Okay, so that should do it for C2 Part 1, where we taught you how to view, edit, learn IR codes with the IR remote, learn import IR codes via ProntoHex, and importing IR codes via the manufacturer's hex sheet.